Hey guys, Bud here with Dependable Lawn Care, and we're getting ready to go out and do our first aeration overseeding job of the season. So just wanted to kind of show you the setup and show you the shop too. Haven't really showed you that since I got it finished up. So let's jump in here and take a look. Look at the leaves on the ground already, guys. And the thing of it is, I just cleaned all these leaves up a couple days ago. We had the blowers out and we blew all the leaves into the grass and mulched them up. But we are losing leaves fast here, and it's pretty early in the season too. So most of you guys have seen my earlier videos, and you know that I used to run a all John Deere fleet, and this is the last of my John Deere fleet. It's the last John Deere mower that I own, and it was the newest one with the lowest hours, and that's why I hung on to this one. It was already paid for, and it's turned out to be a perfect setup for my Z-Rater. And the sprayer is not even hooked up. It's just on there as counterweight for the sprayer. It helps keep traction on the back tires. So, you know, it's not serving any function other than just counterweight at this moment. So as far as aerating and overseeding goes, this is the setup. Let me take you in here, and we'll just start in here and work our way out, because I'm in the process of loading up. So I've got my Gorilla cart, which I love this thing. It's freaking handy as heck with my FERT, and I wish I could say I was using the GCI turf fescue seed, but honestly guys, it got too expensive for me. It's too expensive for me to purchase in bulk and too expensive to pass on to my customers. So I'm just using a local source where I can get the Falcon 4. It's less than $100 for a 50-pound bag of turf type fescue seed. So that's what I'm using this year. The GCI turf is definitely better. It's just too expensive for me. So that's what I've got going on up here. I'm only doing one job today. It's a Sunday. I don't really even want to be working today, but I've got to get this one done pretty quick. So I've got my materials loaded up in my cart, which makes it really handy to load and unload. When I get done at the end of the day, I can just wheel this right back into the shop, and I don't have to unload a bunch of bags and stuff. So that's why I'm using the cart. Just kind of makes things easier on me. And then the spreaders, you guys have seen my spreaders, and I actually ordered a spiker spreader also. It should be coming pretty soon. I'll be really excited to show you guys that. So I've got my Earthway Even Spread, which is a 50-pound spreader, and I have nothing negative to say about this spreader. The only negative, okay, I do have one negative. The only negative is that I didn't purchase one that was stainless steel, and you see the paint is flaking off of the frame, and the frame's all rusted on this one from fertilizer, and that's my own fault for not getting one that was stainless. But I kind of wish that they had these things powder coated so that the fertilizer didn't eat up the paint. And I do, before somebody says something, I do keep it clean. After we get done using it, we rinse it off. But you know, some of that stuff just stays on the paint, and you really can't get it all off. So anyway, Earthway 50-pound spreader, great spreader. No complaints other than just the rust. The Chapin I purchased, I guess it was last year, and I really like this spreader. It's the 100-pound hopper, and I think, yeah, there it is. It's the 8400. That's the model number, and it is stainless. I learned my lesson with this one, so when I bought the next one, I made sure I got one that was stainless. So those are the spreaders that I'm using. And then, of course, we talked about, you know, the John Deere mower, but the Z-Rater. Now, I've showed you guys this before. I actually showed it to you first when I first purchased it, and then I showed it to you mounted on, I think I had it on the 52-inch Z3X. Yeah, I did. I had it on the 52. So I first showed it to you guys mounted on the 52. It did work, and it was the thing about being on a stander, it was a much shorter package, but there's just so much weight with this unit in the front. You know, even with the aerator down, The traction was just, I was sliding around, I was, you know, spinning tires a lot, and so I didn't like that. And since I still had the John Deere, I just modified my frame a little bit where I could mount it right onto the front of the John Deere, and I love it on here. I'm not a big fan of sitting down, as you guys know, but it just works really well on this mower. And I'm already using this mower and, you know, keeping it for spraying here at the house and stuff like that. So if I'm going to keep it anyways, might as well make some money off of it, right? So that's my setup there. I'll show you the sprayer setup. Even though I don't spray other than at my house, this is just a farm type 25-gallon sprayer with a Rimco pump, and it does have the gun on it, and it's got the sprayers down here. So there's a sprayer tip on each end of it, and it'll spray about a 6-foot wide area at a time, so I can cover my yard pretty quick when I'm putting down my fungicide and my weed control. So nice little sprayer. Really like that thing. I just put it on here not too long ago, so I still need to hook it up. It's not hooked up or anything yet. I just put it on here and strapped it down so that I could have that counterweight. The other thing, so that's everything on the aeration and the overseeding side of things. Obviously just finished loading that up and I'm ready to go. And that's the order I'm going to load it in. I have my cart in the front with my materials. My spreaders will go in next, and I'll tuck them up in there. And then this will go in last because it's going to be the first thing that comes out and the last thing that goes back in. So I'm just loading everything up in the order that I need it. Now, the shop building. You guys haven't really seen this since I got it all closed in, and I've been working on it a little bit inside. I've got my area set up over here for my lawn care stuff. You know, obviously my supplies, my sprayer, my spreaders go under here. Still have some room left, so when I start stocking up on seed here pretty quick. In fact, I already tried to stock up on seed, and I got the last 2 or 3 bags that I could get here locally, and they've got some more coming in. The pneumatic tires off of the Z3s, which will probably go back on in the fall when I put the collection systems on them, the Protero baggers. Built myself a shelf on both sides of the building, and it's just a 2-foot deep shelf. Right now it's all cluttered up, but I'll get that organized, and then that gives me some space to have some more storage and work area. Some old masonry tools, my scaffolding back there. I've got one set up so I can use it to put the kayaks on, and then the side-by-side just backs right under it. So that worked out. You can see that worked out pretty good. So I'm just going to leave it where it's at. I like having the side-by-side in here out of the weather. So when it's not getting used, it's not sitting out in the weather. And then the other workbench, which you can see a little bit better, I'll show you what I did to mount that up. Made these angle brackets that are screwed right into the studs, the metal studs of the building, and then laid some scrap 2x6s up there for the bench top. And then this, I welded up a little frame here to set my chop saw in, so that the top of the chop saw is even with the workbench. So I can, like larger stock like this, I can slide it right across the bench, right onto the chop saw, and I can move the chop saw back and forth this whole distance. That's why it's open. And the sparks and the cutoff and everything just falls right through into the gravel. So, you know, nothing here is flammable. So it's a perfect little work area for doing some cutting work or cut off work. So I've got that little station set up, and I don't have power or anything to the building. So I just run a cord out from the garage, which, you know, well, I'm not very far from the garage. So I just run a cord out here whenever I'm out here working. I've actually got a cord also for my welder, so I can run my welder out here, which keeps all that stuff out of the garage and you know, out here where it really belongs. So anyway, that's the shop or garage, whatever you want to call it, the setup for right now. Probably not going to do a whole lot more in here. I kind of have everything how I like it, and probably just going to kind of stick with it the way it is. I am gonna bring in a little bit more gravel on this side. I had enough gravel to build up all the way over to, you can see the side of the side-by-side where it changes color. That's because we've had so much rain. That gravel right there is actually kind of damp still. But anyways, build it up a few more inches along that side, and that's pretty much all I've got left to do in here. So anyway, let's load this stuff up. I'll show you once I've got everything loaded up how it all fits in there, and then we're going to take off and do our first job of the season. It's a good time to point out that I am really loving having a 20-foot trailer. I have so much more room to work with. This used to be pretty cramped when I was trying to put all this in my 16-foot trailer. So mower with the aerator, my spreaders are up in here, my cart full of materials, and I still have plenty of room in the front, which I did that on purpose so I could open the side door and get to the hand tools if I need to do any raking or if I need to use my garden weasel or anything like that. So one more thing I want to point out about having an aerator on a mower that's really handy, whether you have this on a stander or you have it on a sit-on mower. Having the mowing deck, and what I have on here are mulching blades and then my chute block. While I'm aerating, I can be running my blades and mulching up the leaves and have the leaves mulched up and out of the way while I'm aerating, and makes my life so much easier trying to put down seed. So that's one good benefit of having, your aerator on a mower as opposed to a dedicated aerator, which, don't get me wrong, I would love to have. I would love to have a dedicated aerator. Someday I probably will, but for right now, this is serving the need of having an aerator, having a sprayer for here at the house, having a backup mower, plus, like I said, being able to mulch the leaves and stuff like that. So it's a win-win. It's a good setup for me at this point in time, and it's paid for. That's all paid for. So don't owe a dime on it, and that just makes it even better as far as, getting out there and making money. So anyway, you guys have listened to me ramble on long enough. I'm going to hop off of here and we're going to go get some work done. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell button, and get out there and make some money, and we'll catch you on the next one.